Welcome to the Manifestation Babe podcast. My name is Catherine Zinkina, and I'm a manifestation expert, master mindset coach, and multiple seven-figure entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with helping you achieve everything that you once thought was impossible. If you're looking to massively up-level your life, your finances, your relationships, your productivity and success, then you have come to the right place. My goal in this podcast is to help you see the infinite potential within yourself to be, do, and have anything that your heart desires. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of mindset development to help you maximize who you are and where you're going. Leave it to me to provide you with the tools, the resources, the strategies, and teachings that you need to manifest a reality wilder than your wildest dreams. I know we're about to have so much fun together, so thank you so much for pushing play today. And now let's begin. Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of the Manifestation Babe podcast. So I am currently in Sedona right now, and I have this whole new podcast set up. I don't know if you can notice a difference, but the game has changed, people. So I don't know if I'm talking at a lower volume or a higher volume or how you're going to hear me in the end, but I always thank you for your patience as I continue to upgrade my podcast equipment and make it as seamless and easy as possible for me. As a mom, if you are a parent and you or an aunt or whoever, and you have ever taken care of a small child, you know that your time is so valuable. And making things as simple and as easy as possible for you to get work done is a game changer. Excuse me, my throat, of course, decides to get a little raspy there. Where was I going with this? Yes. So I am coming to you with another episode, and this one is going to be also from a previous MBA Q&A. So last time I posted an episode from an MBA Q&A, because I swear I channel some of the best stuff to my students. And sometimes I sit down for a podcast episode and I'm like, I swear I've said this before. So there's no point of putting it out there because it's already out there. And then I remember, I'm like, wait a second, I've said this to my students, but I haven't said it to my podcast listeners who maybe are my students, maybe are not, maybe are planning to become my students inside of the Manifestation Babe Academy. I don't know yet, but I really want to put some good stuff out there. And so I asked my team recently to dive into the vault of this previous round of the Manifestation Babe Academy, which is my 20-week program, my transformational program for essentially overhauling your entire life, your entire mindset, your entire way of thinking, so that you can program yourself to be the most successful, fulfilled, happiest version of yourself who's just a master manifester at whatever you put your mind to. It's like an entire journey that we go on. It's not just like a masterclass, okay? It's not just like a 3-week, 4-week course where I just teach you step 1, step 2, step 3, right? This is like an overhaul. That's my mission behind MBA is I want to overhaul your life. It's like, imagine extreme makeovers. If you've ever watched those shows on TV, that's what we're doing here. This is the ultimate glow up machine. And I asked my team to go into the vault and pull some Q&As. And especially answers and things that I've channeled from previous Q&A sessions. So I decided to make them into the next couple of episodes. So I pulled a couple of Q&As. Some of them, actually, I'll make an intro for each and every single one of them because I realize that some of them is like me reading the question and then also kind of guiding the student as I'm reading the question. So it might require me to kind of explain things. This one, not so much explanation. This is an episode where we're going to be talking about worthiness. And I know that this is something that comes up for so many people. So many people struggle with worthiness. It might be worthiness around money for one person. It might be worthiness for a relationship for another person. It might be worthiness for, having a safe home for another person. It might be worthiness of eating healthy food and nourishing your body and loving your body for another person. Like everybody has their different thing that they struggle with. And I think that this episode is going to be a nice universal mindset that all of you can adopt. And I just think that it's a really great thing that I said. I really like what I said in this episode. I don't normally listen to myself talk. I'm one of those people that just hates listening to myself talk, especially when I have like my friends and my team members when they're around me and they're like watching my stories or listening to my podcast in front of me. I'm like, turn that shit off right now. And of course, you're like, Catherine, that's just like something you need to work through. And absolutely, of course. And that's why I decided to take on this project. Anyway, with that being said, if you've ever struggled with unworthiness, you're going to love today's episode. And before we dive into today's episode, I just want to remind you, because time is running out, if you've missed the sign up for the Manifestation Babe, well, first of all, the Manifest Your Glow Up workshop. If you have not joined that yet, you can go to manifestationbabe.com/glow up. It's a free 5-day workshop where I'm going to show you how you can achieve your glow up, achieve your transformation, how you can overhaul your mindset to think like the most successful version of yourself, and things that maybe you weren't thinking about when it comes to manifestation, things that maybe aren't so readily available on the internet, where, there's all this information out there and you could be overwhelmed and you're like, I don't know where to begin. I always make it as streamlined as possible, especially if you are a beginner. You're going to benefit from this. If you are intermediate in the manifestation world, like you're familiar, you've manifested things, you know what's up, I'm going to help you fine tune your skills. And if you are advanced like me, I still sign up for manifestation things. Like I love to fine tune my skill set, to just learn from other people, to see if there's another way that I could think about something, if there's another way that I could, be when it comes to being in the energy of something. I mean, I'm a lifelong student, so I benefit from it, even if, you can consider me like an advanced manifestation expert. So with that being said, join the free workshop if you haven't already. And then of course, MBA is going to open right after that. So if you want to be on the wait list, if you want to know exactly like the freaking second that I open up the doors to the Manifestation Babe Academy, make sure you are signed up for that at manifestationbabe.com/MBA. That's M, B as in boy, A as in apple, MBA, or M as in manifestation, B as in babe, A as in academy, right? Keep it simple. So /glow up/MBA, hit up those two websites, put your name down, your email. You're going to get all the really good information. We're going to have so much fun together. There's prizes. I mean, there's such good stuff. With that being said, let's dive into today's episode. I love you so much. I hope you have a phenomenal, phenomenal day. Mwah. The reason why you feel unworthy is because what you have so far has not been normalized. So you don't yet see yourself as one, meaning one and the same, aligned with the dream house, the community, the 50K gift, and all that you've manifested. You see it as something that is outside of you, that is external to you. It is not something that you see yourself yet as having all of the time consistently and being comfortable with it. It already feels like something, because there's a separation, your ego is trying to separate you from it and is trying to point out all the different reasons why you're not worthy of it. And it's saying, oh yeah, you need to lose weight. So maybe if you lose weight, then you'll be worthy of it. Or you need to make more money, or you need to redefine your business goals, when that's just not the case at all. You are already worthy. That's the thing about worthiness, is this is the least of our work to do, because proving worthiness is never part of the manifestation process, except to only recognize and see your inner worthiness. So there's proving, and then there's recognizing. And the thing is that how can you prove something that you already have? You just are it. That's it. Like there's no trying to show or trying to be, it just is. And there's two stories, which one of them, I mean, they're kind of stories, but kind of not. One of them, both of them actually, I heard so long ago that I'm for sure going to butcher it. It's probably not even close to what these people actually say, but this is how my subconscious mind remembers it. And it literally changed the game for me. In his book, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, what's his name? T. Harv Eker. He talks about how, so many people struggle with worthiness, but what they have to realize, and they live their life from this mindset that there's a God in the sky that before they're born is, this God just has like all these babies on a conveyor belt, right? And God is just stamping them like on this factory conveyor belt, just worthy, unworthy, worthy, unworthy, right? We have this image. We manifest ourselves into this lifetime through all of this crap that happens between the ages of 0 and 7 years old that makes us think that it was God who stamped us unworthy, or that we came here being unworthy, when really our unworthiness is just this lie that's been perpetuated by all of these things that have compounded over time and become our subconscious programming. And that's all that it is. And when I realized that there's never been a God in the sky that just stamps anybody worthy or unworthy, or there's no like tablet out there, right? The Dead Sea Scrolls or something that we're going to find I'm going to open and it's going to say, Catherine Zinkina is worthy of making $80,000 a year, but never more than that, right? Catherine Zinkina is worthy of having this kind of partner, but never that kind of partner. This shit does not exist. We are allowing outside external sources, all of these things that have happened to us, the way that we have been raised, the way that we've been the way that we have grown up, the things that we have heard from our families, from school, from society, from culture, that has created those scrolls, that has created that tablet, that has created that stamp, but it doesn't actually exist beyond this lifetime. It's not there. And so you have to realize that you can't, if you really want to be living a life for yourself, by getting stuck in the cycle of unworthiness, you're actually living a life for everybody else who's ever claimed that you are unworthy, who's ever made you feel unworthy, for every single memory and trauma and experience that has ever made you feel unworthy. And then you have to realize at some point, I'm going to be like 80 years old, 90 years old, 100 years old, looking back at a rocking chair and realizing that I lived my whole life based on what happened to me as a child, right? That programming. That is just fucking made up. Just because it happened doesn't mean that's the truth of who I am. And number 2 story that really speaks to me is, of course, I'm going to butcher it, but it was from Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I think he visited someone in the hospital, someone who was dying or something. And she had a picture of her child, of her son or something, on her bedside next to her. And she was talking I literally don't remember the conversation, what the point of the story was, but this is what stood out to me. She was pointing at this picture frame and saying, oh my God, my son, I love him so much, blah, 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 blah. Look at him. He's amazing. Just talking about so many great memories with her son and blah, 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 and how amazing he is. And I don't remember if it was Dr. Wayne Dyer or someone else, but he looked at her and said, the way that you have this picture frame of your son by your bedside table, and the way that you look at your son is the way that God has a picture framed of you on his bedside table. And he's talking about you in the same way. How they say we're, child of the universe or child of God or child of source. And that just spoke to me ever since then. I have kept that in my subconscious mind. You're so right. We are children of the universe. And the same way that we look at our children, we want the best for them. And we would never look at them as unworthy. We want to give everything to them. We have pictures of them, right? As screensavers, picture frames, all this, this beautiful stuff that we do with our kids is the same way that the universe looks at us. And so we have to stop getting in the way and being the block, because we're the only ones who are pretending like that dynamic doesn't exist. We're the only ones who are pretending that this relationship doesn't exist. And we're creating all these rules and lies that don't exist. to keep us from manifesting what we want. So your worthiness just is, no matter what you look like, no matter what you have, no matter how you dress, no matter who you are. It's the normalization that is the work to do here. It's realizing that you plus your desires are one, but it's not about creating more worth in your life because you already are worthy. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't already following me on social media, come soak up the extra inspiration on Instagram by following @ManifestationBabe or visiting my website at manifestationbabe.com. I love and adore you so much and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out there and manifest some magic.